We've got some more information, screenshots and even an in-sim video from the team at Fenix Simulations regarding their high fidelity A320, and my goodness, this further proves the point that this is something really special. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another video. If you love everything about Microsoft Flight Simulator, be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the most important Microsoft Flight Simulator news and add-ons. Now, if you didn't know, a new developer team have worked on a high fidelity, or are working on a high fidelity A320 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and while there's no set release date yet, this is looking like something really special, and oh boy should you be excited. In today's video I share some recent screenshots and a video shared from their YouTube channel. Although I don't put the whole thing in this video because that would be unfair, I put the highlights from there. I've made sure I've put the link to the full Autoland video in the description if you want to watch it. But without any further delay, let's get right into it. So for those of you who don't know, this is what the Fenix A320 looks like from the outside so far. This is an old screenshot, I say old, it's from the last update. And yes, we know it looks marvellous. It is the A320CO, which is current engine option, the older variant of the A320. But this video and this update, more to the point, focuses on inside the cockpit and the system, so let's get into it. Okay, so the two screenshots on the screen now compare something very unique to the Airbus. Amir, the lead developer, shows us what happens when the ADR, which stands for Air Data Reference, 1, 2 and 3 are either off or have failed. I guess in this case it's more likely failed. You may be wondering what Air Data Reference means. Some of you who are familiar with the ADR systems, or Airbus in general, will know what it is, but it stands for Air Data Reference, and it provides the aircraft with all of its must-have information from altitude, angle of attack, airspeed, etc. ADR 1 and 2 can normally come on automatically, but ADR 3 is used as a backup and can be turned on manually. On the screen now we've got the normal cockpit, and you can see the high fidelity textures here. Notice the different kind of fonts on the primary flight display, making sure it hits the nail on the head with this type of Airbus. Moving on, we've got the ADRs off, and you can see on this one we haven't got any information about speed, and altitude is just going off the GPS. This is what it does. It's not being pulled from the aircraft, it's being pulled from the GPS. So you've got your backup systems. And also notice on the eCam display we've also got all of the checklists regarding an ADR failure, or ADR fault I should say. Moving on to another screenshot, we've got the terrain radar. Now we did have this to a certain extent on Microsoft Flight Simulator Standard A320, and to a higher extent on Flybywire's A320. But here you can see we get a lot more data regarding the height of the altitude. Notice down the bottom of the navigation display, you've got the two heights showing us the height of the terrain. Now it's clear at this point, I guess the aircraft is sitting on the ground. Well, yes, it's certainly sitting on the ground, so we're at a high airport at a height of 1,900 feet. And you can see that from the 0 on the PFT, of course, on the airspeed. Now this is a feature that is truly remarkable. On their Discord, one of their team was flying on VATSIM and traffic got very close. Many of you will be familiar with TCAS, which is the traffic collision avoidance system. In most aircraft it's a simple system. I say simple, there's a lot to it, where it alerts the pilots to traffic that are basically too close for comfort. However, Airbus likes to do things a bit differently, and we've got TCAS Autopilot. This is where the aircraft will fly itself out of danger, something very unique to the Airbus system. Although I do believe Boeing are working on something like it now. But anyway, Fenix Simulations have brought it into their A320, and you can see the aircraft's gone into a steep climb and is flying away from the aircraft in front. Notice the red dot on the navigation display as well, showing the aircraft, and I just cannot read the text below it. It's probably the quality of the screenshot more than the quality of the aircraft. I think it says -05, so 500 feet under. very close. So there's all the major screenshots we've been provided with, and it tells us a lot of information about this beautiful aircraft. Chica's autopilot is something very nice, something very impressive in my opinion, and it'll be perfect for VATSIM and IVAO. On top of that, the ADR failures shows the attention to detail for this aircraft and proves the point that this is a high fidelity airliner. Not just your run of the mill Frankenstein aircraft with a newish cockpit. There's also some recently updated information in the frequently asked questions section on the FenixSim Discord. Let's go through the important point. First of all, there will be wing flex if any of you are concerned about that. I know it is a requirement for so many people out there. Will there be IAE engines? Yes, there will be, and it will be available at no extra cost. However, this will come in a later update. They have a better sound, I've got to admit. Will there be an EFB, electronic float bag? Yes, there will be, it's planned further down the line. And will it be available on Xbox? Unfortunately not, it's for PC only, they say. And how much will it cost? Well, at the moment, they haven't set a price point or release date yet. They will provide a price point down the line. And as I said, I don't expect it will be too high, just from going from what they've recently said. That's from Joshua on their Discord. It's the major frequently asked questions, of course. You can go on there and read them all for yourself. I do recommend you join their Discord. Now finally, we've got part of the fantastic early alpha video with an Autoland demo in Sydney. I'm going to play it back and then we'll talk about it. Be aware that there's no sound because I don't want to play the sound to you yet because they're just not ready, I don't think. Or maybe they're saving it to surprise us down the line. It's an ILS approach, full Autoland at Sydney Airport. Also, be aware this is not the full video, there's 6 minutes of it, it's just the highlights, basically the start and ending, and it's voiced by a guy called Fraser on their Discord server. Enjoy.
So today we're going to be doing a Cat 2 Autoland into Sydney, runway 16 right. As you can see, we've put the decision height there, radio 101 feet above the ground. There's several things that happen on an Autoland which we need to announce or at least check for. Several of it, or quite a few things would have been checked during the approach preparation in the brief prior to the descent, but there are certain things that we need to check as they happen on the approach themselves, so I'll talk through them as they happen. So I might as well talk just for a moment while we have a second on ground speed menu. What I mentioned there, you can see that we're at our final approach speed already, that magenta target speed on the PFD on the left hand side there. As the wind changes, the Airbus is quite clever that it actually, you'll see the approach speed change during the latter stages of the approach. So there's land. The next we'll see about 50 feet will be flare. We'll then close the thrust levers when we hear retard, and on the rollout you expect to see rollout announced at the top there where it currently says land. So although the wind's quite light, you can see that swinging around quite a bit and you can feel that just through the aircraft. So there's flare, we close the thrust levers, touchdown, roll out. The autopilot is still engaged at this point and it will maintain the centre line as we go down the runway.
So there we have it, guys. Isn't that amazing? Of course, I slimmed down the 6-minute video to about a minute because it wouldn't be fair to put the whole video in this video. Be sure to check it out in the description. The whole team at FenixSim continuing to push the boundaries out, hopefully create some healthy competition to all of the older major development teams that need a good kick up the backside, I think. What do you guys think? Are you impressed? Or will you stick by with the fly-by-wire one? Of course, the major difference is that this is payware and fly-by-wire is freeware, so I really don't think it's much competition. In terms of fly-by-wire audience being taken away by FenixSim, I think they can coexist in a lovely float simulation heaven. But that's just my thought. Put them down below, guys. From me today, that is all. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, as well as thank you to my first class channel members. They get a shout out on the screen now. I'm going to wrap up the video here, guys. If you want to become a first class flyer channel member for exclusive perks, be sure to click that join button. But anyway, guys, from me today, that is all. Bye bye.